Hello darlings, I am Cassandra George Sturgis. Welcome to my channel, Authentic Beauty Handmade Dolls and Crafts. This is part 2 in your tutorial on how to make a sock doll. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to sculpt your sock doll. Thank you so much for watching. In the previous video, we created the wire armature for the doll, and we also stuffed the legs and the bottom for the doll, and now I'm going to sculpt the doll's bottom. So what I'm doing is taking my needle, I'm sticking it from the center of her legs around to the top middle part of her waist and back around. Make sure that you do not go too far into the front or it will distort her figure. And I'm going to go around at least, I think maybe 3 or 4 times to make sure it's nice and taut. And this will create a very nice bottom. But you also want to make sure that you stuff the fiber fill in a way to help create the doll's shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and sculpt the illusion of knees for the doll. It just gives the leg a little bit more shape. So I'm going right in the middle, and I am, as you can see, I'm going from the side and back and forth at least, I would say, between 2 and 4 times to make sure it's nice and tight. And what this does is it, distinguishes between the thigh and the leg area, and it makes the leg have a little bit more shape, and it just looks better. After I finish sculpting the knees, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the ankle area for the doll, just to give the illusion of feet. I usually like to turn my feet like in an L shape, but I noticed it just really didn't look right for this particular doll. So I'm looking forward to making some boots for her and maybe giving her a little bit more height and a little bit, bigger foot, but I'm excited about that. So once you do one knee or ankle, you're going to use the previous one that you just completed as a guide as to where you want to sculpt the knees for the next leg. When you are sculpting your doll, don't be afraid of making mistakes, because she selected you to bring her to life. She wants to be here. And sometimes when I'm working on my dolls, I start thinking, I start second guessing myself, and I start losing my confidence. But then I'll just go in like, no, I'm not afraid of her and she's not afraid of me. She picked me and we are going to make this happen. So when you're working on your doll, just pretend that she is channeling through to you and telling you exactly what she wants. And I have found that when things usually don't work out, it's because I don't want to listen. And when I was making Josephine, this sock doll, I wanted her to look a certain way. Like in my mind, I wanted her to be, I don't know, like this kind of like mainstream type of cute doll. And that's why I was struggling so much. But once I realized that she was telling me who she is. And once I let go, it was much easier to make her. Sometimes I feel like Dr. Frankenstein when I'm making my dolls. Not saying that my dolls are monsters or anything, but it's like you're bringing this being into existence, and you see them just start to form and come to life, and it's just a surreal feeling, even though it's just a doll. So now I'm about to stuff the upper portion of the doll's body, and I'm going to take 2 pieces of fiber fill about the size of a jack ball. I don't know if you guys used to play jacks. And I'm going to ball them up to create the bosom area. And as you see, I'm even separating them a little bit with my hand. And I'm also putting fiber fill down in the stomach area, just so, you know, it would have, you know, so it'll look nice. And I am, like in the video here, I'm balling it up. I'm putting him on each side of the doll's chest area. And then I'm going to go through like I did with her bottom, and I'm going to sculpt that area as well. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my fingers and I'm going to stick it in the top portion of the torso and the bottom portion, and I'm going to make sure those 2 index fingers touch, and I'm creating a hole in order to stick the wire armature into the doll's body. If you just try to stick the wire in, I mean, I think it'll work, but you'll move a lot of your fiber fill around. But when I'm using my fingers, I'm trying to be very gentle so that the doll's shape will remain intact while I create the hole. I am now adding additional fiber fill around the doll's waist because she's going to need it. When I sew the bottom portion of her body to the top portion, I'm also going to sculpt her navel area. And because of that, I do need a little bit more filling in that area. Once I have enough fiber fill to support her body, I am going to use some pens to hold the bottom portion and the top portion of her body together. And then I'm going to go around the doll's waist, and I'm going to ladder stitch the bottom half of her body to the top half of her body. You don't want to pull the thread too tight because it would make her waist too small. So just be very gentle when you're doing it. I don't think I've ever been as gentle while making any other doll. Because of the soft material, I was so afraid that it was going to lose its shape, so I was very careful. And even when I was ladder stitching the doll's bottom portion of her body to her upper, to the upper portion of her body, I was very careful because the sock material. Now I don't know, but I don't think that when they made socks that they thought people were going to be making dolls with them. So it's like, I don't think it's meant for that, so you have to be extra careful. And the fabric is, it's really has a lot of holes in it, and I don't know if the right word is holes, but it's so stretchy and soft. So just be very, very gentle and careful when you're sewing. I think it's very interesting that sometimes people feel that I'm giving away my doll secrets, like my family and my boyfriend, like, what's wrong with you? But, there is this spiritual saying or belief that whatever you give away, you always get in abundance. And whatever you keep, you only keep that you have. And I have found that since I started YouTube, I have really stretched myself as a doll artist. And like I always wanted to make those hot glue eyes. Oh my God, guys, and guess what? For this doll, I am making new eyes. Like the eyes for her are not like any of the eyes I've ever made before for any of my dolls. And I've never made a sock doll. I've never made a rag doll. The dolls that I have planned for the future, I've never made them before. And I feel like if I was just making them for myself, then I wouldn't, I don't know, like I just wanted to perfect the doll that was my favorite, which I think I did. But because I am, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm giving my secrets away. I feel like I am sharing something that God or the universe or whatever term you feel comfortable with is sharing with me. And it seems to me like once I complete one doll, the ideal for the next doll comes to me in my dreams, and I just find that I'm more creative and just things are just flowing through me because I'm just getting rid of them. Just like, okay, this is a good idea. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving this process of learning and growing as a doll maker. So I just want to thank everybody for watching these videos, and I love your comments because I don't know, like I think making dolls I think it's something special about it, like in terms of life. When you are a child and they give you a doll and the doll has a role, like this is what you're supposed to do and this is how the doll is supposed to look, like with the fashion dolls. And I think that when we get older, because I think most people who make dolls are probably, maybe after their 40s or so, I think then it's when you find yourself and you become a unique individual. And so then your dolls are reflecting your uniqueness or who you are as a person. You're not playing with a doll that that everybody think you should be playing with. And I think that's really my motivation for this channel and for making new dolls, is that now I get to make dolls that reflect, a new sense of identity and beauty, and something that's, not the way the world think that my dolls are supposed to look. And I'm just enjoying this expression of just really accepting myself, and I think that reflects in my dolls. And I'm quite sure it's the same way with other doll makers. I think you get to a point in your life where you just don't want to be told what beauty is, I myself am a visual learner, so I am trying to make sure that I am as thorough as I can be for those of you who are like me, who need to see. Like for me, you can tell me something, you can, like I can look at a map or I can look at a pattern. It doesn't work for me. I need to see the person do it. And once I watch you do it, I can do it for myself. So yeah, so I hope the videos aren't too long, but I'm really doing it for the person who is like me. And I was like, well, I want to watch you do this because then I'm going to do it myself. Now I'm going to go ahead and sculpt the doll's bosom in the upper portion of her body. So I'm taking the needle, I'm sticking it in the side, I'm moving the fiber fill around with the needle. And then I'm going to find the middle and I'm going to go over the top. Don't go too far to the back because you don't want to distort her back. And you're going to go ahead and just like we did her bottom, we're going to go around a few times to create the illusion of a bosom. She is really gorgeous. I don't know, I'm watching this as I'm narrating and I am feeling so excited as if, I don't know, as if this version of myself made it that I forgot about. But I just love seeing her, her shape just coming to life. It's just beautiful. I am now going in through the back to come out through the center to create a navel for the sock doll. And I'm going to go in at least 2 or 3 times. And what I like to do is create either a cross or an X with my thread, very tiny, small X or cross. And I'm just going to pull gently to create the illusion of a navel. And this just gives the doll's torso a little bit more definition. So we are coming to a close in part 2. In the next video, we are going to go over how to add her arms, and I'm not sure what else in that video, but I promise you we will finish her. And unlike the Shaka doll, I plan on putting some clothes on this woman. Thank you so much for watching.